Welcome to the line change. In this particular video, we're going to go over a certain topic. Might not be the most popular topic, but it was something that came to me tonight actually, and it intrigued me. This idea. But before we get started, just so you guys can see, rocking my black Canucks skate jersey. Sorry, you guys can't really see. There you go. But not just any black skate jersey. There's a particular reason why I'm wearing this particular black skate jersey. Now, let me just get up a little bit so you guys can see the number. Who do you guys think that is? I'll show you guys the back. That's right. You got it. As you can guess by the title of this video, I'm talking about the Canucks. Now, by no means is this an article that I'm reading. This is just my personal opinion, but I think the Canucks should at least consider bringing Andrei Kuzmenko back. Now, before I get chewed out about this, there's a particular reason why I am suggesting this. And right now, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you some stats that kind of give my reasons as to why I think the Canucks should at least look into bringing back Andrei Kuzmenko. I know all about the stuff with Rick Tocchet and how he didn't fit with Tocchet's system, but I also deep down absolutely love Kuzmenko. I thought he was so dynamic that first season, and yes, we all knew that he was going to regress in his second season, and which he ended up doing. And then we ended up trading him to Calgary. We got Elias Lindholm in return, and then we ended up losing Lindholm. So, I don't know. I would say that's kind of a bit of a lost trade, at least in my personal opinion, because Lindholm ended up walking at the end of the year. So we only had Lindholm as a rental. And then the Flames ended up getting Kuzmenko. Yes, they ended up trading him to the Flyers. And then the Flyers would later trade him to the Kings. But here's the thing. And before we throw up the stats, Andrei Kuzmenko right now is absolutely tearing it up in LA right now. So I've managed to catch the last couple LA Kings games. And yeah, Kuzmenko has been absolutely amazing with the Kings, playing on that first line with Adrian Kempe, and I believe it's Kopitar. But let's dive into the stats right now, and you can see for yourselves just how good Kuzmenko has been since he was traded to the LA Kings. Let's bring that up right now. So here we go. We're looking at elite prospects. We're also going to look at his contract as well after this. But as you can see, his last 5 games, Kuzmenko has 6 points in his last 5 games, 2 goals and 2 goals and 4 assists. He's a +3. In his last 10 games, he has got 10 points, 4 goals, 6 assists. Now, if we scroll further down, look at his stats for this season with the LA Kings. He's played 15 games since he was traded, to LA. So he's got 10 points in 15 games with the LA Kings. Now, as you can see there, for his first season with the Canucks, he played 81 games, 39 goals, 35 assists, 74 points. And then his following season was obviously he dropped off and he had a massive regression, in particular with his goals. He only had 8 goals and 13 assists, 21 points in 43 games before he was dealt to the Calgary Flames, where he played 29 games for the Flames and had 14 goals, 11 assists. So between the Flames and the Canucks, he actually had 46 points to finish his second season. Obviously, that's a massive drop-off from that 70-point season. But keep in mind, and we're going to quickly share this screen as well, just real quick. But if you check this out, Andrei Kuzmenko averaged a shooting percentage of 27.3 that first season with Vancouver. Yeah, his shooting percentage was super high, and you knew that Kuzmenko was not going to be able to keep that shooting percentage at 27.3, so he ended up regressing. But that was his shooting percentage in that first season with the Canucks, and he was absolutely dynamic that first season with Vancouver. But moving back to elite prospects, um, obviously, those 2 seasons, and then obviously he only played 7 games with the Flyers. Honestly, I thought he ended up playing more with the Flyers, but he only played 7 games before he was traded again. But even in those 7 games with the Flyers, he had 5 points in 7 games, 2 goals and 3 assists. Yes, he was a -5, but since he's been with the Kings, he's got 10 points in 15 games. And yes, he's projected to finish with only 33 points, which would be down from last year. But he's projected to finish with 11 goals, 22 assists. Keep in mind also for this year's total, he's been on 3 different teams this year. So that's probably has something to do with his final projections for the season. I mean, he ended up switching teams 3 times. He played for 3 different teams in one season. So, but the thing with Kuzmenko, and we're going to actually look over at Puckpedia real quick. He's in year 2 of a 2-year deal. So he will be a UFA at the end of the season. Now, I'm not sure if LA will, offer him an extension. Obviously, this is right now he's trying to prove himself that he deserves a long-term extension with the Kings with his play the last 15 games. But he is in year 2 of a 2-year deal, so he could potentially hit free agency at the end of the season. He does have a cap hit of 5.5 million, so he's not too expensive. But if you look all the way down here at the bottom, I gotta go way down here. The Flyers are retaining 50% of his salary, so he'll be actually even cheaper than 5.5 million if he were to sign with another team. So yeah, or heck, even if he were to be traded again, perhaps at the draft, the Flyers would still retain salary on his contract. So that would basically cut that 5.5 million in half. So yeah, but yeah, I honestly like the idea of bringing Kuzmenko back. Let's go back to this screen. And yes, I'll admit I have a little bit of bias towards this idea because I became such a fan of Kuzmenko that first season he was with Vancouver. I'll admit, when he first was signed, I didn't know who this kid was. I had never watched him in Russia, play in Russia, but I knew he was highly touted as an international free agent. And then when he started playing with EP40, I saw that instant chemistry between the two. Now, we've talked a lot, well, not myself in particular, but a lot of Canucks fans have talked about Andre or, Elias Pettersson needing a winger. And he had that winger that first season with Kuzmenko. He was on the wing with Elias Pettersson, and they tore it up together. Now, yeah, they did try to run it back last year, and it didn't really work out. But as I said already, um, everyone knew that Kuzmenko was going to regress and that he likely would not be able to um, duplicate the season he had prior, and it ended up happening. But I also still to this day, even long after this trade has gone through, long after this trade, I still think the Canucks gave up a little too soon on Andrei Kuzmenko. And now, when it pertains to the Canucks getting Kuzmenko back, I do feel as though, with the likelihood of the Canucks losing Brock Besser, that frees up a spot on the wing. Now, by no means am I saying replace Brock Besser with Andrei Kuzmenko. Let me just clarify that right now. I'm not suggesting that at all. I still think the Canucks should go out and get another winger, like a Nikolai Ehlers, in particular. But I don't think it would hurt the Canucks if they went out and happened to bring back Andrei Kuzmenko. Um, right now, I believe it's on Puckpedia. Let me just quickly look before I put it up on the screen. I think it's on here. Yeah, it's right here. So I'm going to quickly share this. But yeah, if you see here, showing his stats, his hockey IQ is at an 85. His skating is at a 77. So he's not that fast. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what Besser's skating is on when it comes to this, but his shot is at a 95. His puck moving is at a 75. His compete consistency is at a 79. His power play is at a 95. He's not a penalty killer. Physicality 50. He's not really a physical player. Defensive zone starts 50. Offensive zone starts 95. And his projection is a second line forward. So even if, having him with Pettersson didn't work like it did before, you could still have him as a second line forward. Especially even more so if you're going to lose perhaps Brock Besser, if you lose Suter. Now, obviously, Kuzmenko would not replace Suter because Kuzmenko is not a center. He's a winger. But I could see Kuzmenko being a second line forward for this Canucks team, possibly next season. Not that I'm saying that they will go out and get Kuzmenko or that they should particularly, but I'm just saying that I wouldn't mind it. I'd be okay with it. Now, obviously, that now brings up the whole thing between him and Rick Tocchet and the fact that he wasn't defensive. He didn't like his defensive game. And we all know Kuzmenko isn't your typical defensive player, at least compared to Elias Pettersson. He's not. But if you remember, what was it? I think a couple weeks ago or something like that. Rick Tocchet spoke about reprogramming Elias Pettersson. Do you guys think that they could do the same with Andrei Kuzmenko? Because I'm not sure they tried doing that when Kuzmenko was here. I could be wrong. Go ahead and let me know in the comment section down below if I'm wrong on that. But what if they attempted to reprogram Andrei Kuzmenko? Plus, now that Kuzmenko has a few NHL seasons underneath his belt, albeit, having been with a handful of teams in a short span, perhaps things are different for Kuzmenko now. Perhaps he's learned from, having been on the Flames, having been a part of the Flyers organization, and now the LA Kings organization. He's got some knowledge now. Keep in mind that second season, he was only 1 year fresh into the league. Now, yes, Kuzmenko is 29. He's going to be turning 30. Actually, no, he just recently turned 29. So a little over a year from now, he'll be 30. So yeah, he's a little bit on the older side, but I don't know, man. I just absolutely love Andrei Kuzmenko, and I would absolutely love for him to be a Vancouver Canuck again. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think that Andrei Kuzmenko could be a? Oh, sorry, guys. Let me get that back up. Do you guys think it could be a possibility that Canucks could, bring him back? And could he be different? Can he return to the Kuzmenko of that first season? Like I'll go ahead and honestly say I don't think he can be maybe a 75-point player. but I still think he could be at least maybe a 50, maybe a 60-point player. And I'm just also thinking, again, I think the Canucks gave up on him too quickly. And right now he's playing so well in LA. Granted, he's playing with guys like Kempe and Kopitar and Fiala. So he's obviously soaking all that knowledge in from playing with those guys who have been around the block for a while. And yeah, perhaps, that second season with the Canucks was just a down year, just like with what Pedersen's going through right now. But that's just my take on it. Let's quickly do a little promo. I'm going to quickly promote the Canucks watch party going on at Greta in less than a week. So next Thursday is the final Canucks watch party of this season. Let me just quickly add this to the screen. So yeah, game day at Greta. Presented by Fountain Tire, Vancouver versus Colorado, April 10th, 2025. It is in Colorado, so it's not a home game. Tickets are $10. You can pay $40 for a VIP ticket, which gets you a Greta burger, a beer, and a game card for the arcade that circles the bar. This watch party is being hosted by Canucks Army, Sakaris and Price, and Rink-Wide Vancouver. Blake Price, Matt Sakaris, David Quadrelli will be at this watch party. David Quadrelli will be the MC. He'll be the one on the microphone. As I mentioned, Matt Sakaris, Blake Price will be there. Potentially, Jeff Patterson may be there at the beginning. So if you get there early, perhaps you can have a little chat with J-Pat, say hi. I will be there as well. I've already gotten my ticket. Not that I'm a part of the, people who's hosting, but I will be at the watch party. Doors at 5, puck drop at 6. Your tickets are a donation. They're in support of Kidsport Vancouver, which is a great charity. And yeah, so it should be a fun night. Once again, the final Canucks Army watch party of the season. It's going to be a big one against the Colorado Avalanche. Nathan McKinnon and Cale Makar will be squaring off against Quinn Hughes and the Vancouver Canucks. Once again, tickets are $10. You can get a VIP package for $40, which gets you a burger, a beer, and a game card. Secure your tickets at nationgear.ca, and hopefully I'll see you guys there. But moving back, there we go. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of this idea of, bringing back Andrei Kuzmenko. I thought it was a little fun video to do and just talk about and show you guys how much I love Kuzmenko and how much I miss him being on the Canucks. And, would you guys maybe go down that road on, bringing back Kuzmenko? Now, depending on if he signs long-term with LA or another team during free agency, would you even maybe like to see him back, in the future? Once again, don a Canucks jersey. Obviously, one thing I loved about Kuzmenko were those celebrations, which we've been seeing a lot of since he's been traded to LA, which is always nice to see. And, maybe as a bit of a joke, obviously this isn't serious, but perhaps we could swing a trade and, maybe entice Kuzmenko with some Pepsi and some crap. I forget the candy that he likes. But no, yeah, entice him with some Pepsi and some bananas. Maybe that'll offer that not only to Kuzmenko, but maybe the Kings as well. But that's just a really bad joke. But that's going to do it for this video. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to The Line Change, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Become a Patreon member and get exclusive perks. The link for that is in the description down below. Join our Discord, be a part of the conversation. The link to that is also in the video description down below. You can find us on social media, on Instagram at The Line Change, on X at Line Change Van, on Facebook, just search for our Facebook page, The Line Change, on TikTok at the.line.change.po. And if you prefer watching and or listening to this podcast on Spotify, you can find us on Spotify as well. Just search The Line Change. Go ahead and rate and review. And that's going to do it for me tonight. I'll see you guys in the next video.